From Brewster's law, we write n is equal to tan theta p. You need to know how to alter the expression. What factor has to be arrived? Substitute, simplification, the angular momentum remains the same because the particle is moving in a straight line. The next problem, a transparent medium shows the relation between I and R as shown in the diagram. There is a transparent medium, relationship between I and R is shown. If the speed of light in vacuum is c, the Brewster angle for the medium has to be calculated. My dear students, the moment I say Brewster's angle, it is nothing but the polarizing angle. Therefore, we say n is tan theta p. From Brewster's law, we write n is equal to tan theta p. From this graph, sin r by sin I is equal to 1 by root 3. But sin I by sin r is n. This is 1 by n, or n is tan theta p 1 by root 3, or theta p will correspond to 60 degree, tan inverse of that, so which is 60 degrees. Now, due to Doppler's effect, the shift in wavelength observed is 0.1 angstrom. First year, you study about Doppler's effect of sound. In wave optics, you also study Doppler's effect of light. He says, the shift in the wavelength is 0.1 angstrom for a star having wavelength 6000 angstrom. The actual wavelength of this star is 6000 angstrom and the shift is 0.1 angstrom. Velocity of recession of this star will be, velocity of recession andre velocity of going far. Here we have a relation delta lambda divided by lambda is V divided by C. This is the shift in the wavelength divided by actual wavelength. 0.1 into 10 power minus 10 divided by 6000 angstrom. 6 into 10 power 3 into 10 power minus 10 is V divided by C. 3 into 10 power 8. Now what will be the answer? We cannot consume more time for this. So V has to be around 5 kilometers per second. Now, an electron is moving with an initial velocity V equals V naught I and is in a uniform magnetic field. The electron is moving with some velocity, initial velocity, in a uniform magnetic field. What happens to its de Broglie wavelength? The moment you read the term uniform, you come to understand that there is no change in wavelength. So, de Broglie wavelength remains constant. Why is it remaining constant? Because the electron is moving in a uniform magnetic field. Now, light of certain frequency and intensity is incident on a photosensitive material, causes photoelectric effect. There is a material, photosensitive material, light of some frequency, some intensity falls on the material, photoelectrons are liberated. If both the frequency, now read it, it is very important. If both frequency and intensity are doubled. Now I am using a radiation which has frequency and intensity double the initial value. What happens to photosaturation current? My dear students, again theory says photocurrent is only independent of intensity and it does not depend upon frequency. Kinetic energy, maximum kinetic energy, stopping potential, they depend upon frequency and not intensity. Here photocurrent is directly proportional to intensity. It has nothing to do with frequency. So if the intensity is doubled, photocurrent also becomes twice the initial value. So the answer is double the initial value. A magnetic needle has a magnetic moment 5 into 10 power minus 2 ampere meter square. The magnetic moment M of a magnetic needle is given. And moment of inertia 8 into 10 power minus 6 kg meter square. Moment of inertia and magnetic moment is given. It has a period of oscillation of 2 seconds. Then what is the magnitude of the magnetic field? Recall the expression for period of oscillations. We told T equals 2 pi root I divided by MB, where I is the moment of inertia of the needle, magnetic moment, B strength of the magnetic field. Now square this. T square is 4 pi square I divided by MB. I want the strength of the magnetic field. So that is 4 pi square I divided by M into T square. When I do the simplification briskly, The answer turns out to be 1.6 into 10 power minus 4 Tesla. So please do know that the answer is 1.6 into 10 power minus 4. Now you need to know this expression. You need to know how to alter the expression. What factor has to be arrived? Substitute simplification in brisk. Next one. A toroid has 500 turns per meter length of it. Now, one form of a solenoid, toroid ant karitare. A toroid has 500 turns per meter length. It carries a current of 2 ampere. The magnetic energy density inside the toroid has to be calculated. Magnetic energy density. I call it as UM, which is half B square by mu naught. See, this again you have to remember. Simplification is fine, but getting the basic equations is important, no? Magnetic energy density is half B square divided by mu naught. And we know for a toroid, again B is mu naught Ni. So on substitution, mu m equals half B square. So mu naught square into n square into I square divided by mu naught. A mu naught and mu naught gets cancelled. So half into value of mu naught 4 pi into 10 power minus 7 n square 25 into 10 power 4 2 amperes. So on simplification this goes out. So when you simplify, again the first option should be the answer. 25 into 4 nearly 100, nearly 3.14. Yes, 0.628 should be the answer. Now consider the situation in the given figure. Wire AB is slid on the fixed rails with constant velocity. If the wire AB is replaced by a semicircular wire, magnitude of induced current. He says there is a wire AB which is railing in with a constant velocity. Uniform magnetic field. I am pushing a wire with a constant velocity. What is the impact? Very much clear, sir. Magnetic flux is disturbed. EMF is induced. Therefore, current is induced. Motional EMF and karadvi. Now the problem says, if this wire AB is replaced by a semicircular wire, a semicircular portion, what will be the magnitude of the induced current? My dear students, I say the induced current still remains same. Why? It is independent of the shape of the conductor, either a wire or a semicircular portion. We wrote E is equal to B, LV. However, the problem says constant velocity. Here it depends only on the length, which is nothing mentioned here. So very clearly the current remains same. The frequency of alternating current is 50 hertz. What is the minimum time taken by current to reach its peak value from its RMS value? Now the problem says frequency of alternating current is 50 hertz. So T is 1 by F, which is 0.02 seconds. But my question is, what is the minimum time taken by the current to reach its peak value from RMS value? Andre, a sine curve. This is the peak value I naught ant karitini. This is the RMS. RMS value is attained at 45 degrees and the peak value at 90 degrees. So again completely 180, 4 portions. If I equate it to 360 degrees, then I have 8 portions of the curve. 40, 90, again 180. So similarly 360 degrees complete cycles for 8 portions. So this 0.02 by 8 is 360 somewhere divided by 8. So 2.5 milliseconds should be the answer. Next, the readings of ammeter and voltmeter in the following circuit are respectively. A beautiful question. Readings of ammeter and voltmeter. If you observe the circuit, VL is equal to VC. Potential across the inductor is 50 volts. Potential across the capacitor is 50 volts. So VL is equal to VC. Under what conditions this happens? This happens only when there is electrical resonance. So VL is equal to VC. Very clearly it is showing there is electrical resonance. So the value of voltage, applied voltage 220 volts. So I got the reading of the voltmeter. What is the reading of the ammeter? I is V by Z. Since it is an AC circuit, impedance. But since the circuit is already in electrical resonance, the Z is nothing but R. Whenever electrical resonance is achieved, Z is equal to R. Therefore, I equals V by R. 220 by R is 100. So 2.2 ampere should be the answer. So 220 volt, 2.2 ampere will be the answer. Two particles which are initially at rest move towards each other under the action of mutual attraction. Their speeds are v and 2v. At any instant, the speed of the center of mass is 0 because the center of mass is not affected by the speed of the particles. Since it is initially at rest, still it will have the same speed because it is invariant, does not change with the speed of the interacting particles. A particle is moving uniformly along a straight line as shown in the figure. So along A, P, B, the particle is moving along a straight line. During the motion of the particle from A to B, as the particle moves from A to B, the angular momentum of the particle, please note, angular momentum of the particle about O. The particle is traveling from A to B along a straight line. But I have been asked to calculate the angular momentum of the particle. Please to understand, angular momentum comes into picture only when there is rotational motion. My dear students, a particle executes angular momentum only when there is rotational motion. Illi very clear ಆಗಿ ಹೇಳಿದ್ದಾರೆ, particle is moving in a straight line, so angular momentum does not change. If he has asked what will be the change in angular momentum, then it has to be 0. So about this point O, the angular momentum remains the same because the particle is moving in a straight line. Now, a satellite is orbiting close to the earth and has a kinetic energy K. And satellite orbits close to the earth and has a kinetic energy K. There is a satellite which is orbiting very close to earth. Kinetic energy is K. So we know orbital velocity is root gm divided by r plus h. This h becomes 0 because it is orbiting close to the earth. So kinetic energy in this case is half m v naught square or half m g m divided by r. Now, the minimum extra kinetic energy required by the satellite just to overcome the gravitational pull of the earth. Now, it is orbiting close to the earth. I have to calculate the extra kinetic energy required by the satellite to overcome the gravitational pull. What is that speed called? Escape velocity. Very good. So escape velocity is root 2 gm divided by R plus H. Again, this H is 0. Why? Orbiting very close. So in this case, K dash is half M VE square half M again 2 GM by R. So if you observe, K dash is given by this expression, so which is in terms of 2K. So the extra kinetic energy, yes, what is this extra kinetic energy equal to now? So it is 2 minus K. The difference of this will be, which will be the answer. I've given you what is K, what is K dash. If you observe, this is G M by R. K is half G M by R. So you substitute, find the difference, you get the answer. A wire is stretched such that its volume remains constant. We are stretching a wire such that the volume remains constant. Poisson's ratio for the wire. Always remember, Poisson's ratio for stretching is negative. And if it is constant, since volume is constant, Poisson's ratio is always 0.5. So the answer is minus 0.5. Why 0.5? Again, no mathematical calculation. Very clearly becomes volume remains constant. Now, an inductor of inductance L, resistor R are joined together in series and connected by a source of frequency omega. Power dissipated in the circuit has to be calculated. This is an RL circuit. Inductor of inductance L, resistor of resistance R connected in series to a source of frequency omega. The power dissipated in the circuit has to be calculated. So here we know average power is Vrms into Irms into cos phi, where cos phi is called the power factor. Or I can write this as V square R into cos phi. Now, so I have V square R by cos phi. So how do I indicate cos phi? Yes. Now, if I calculate the impedance, this is root of RL plus XL whole square. Root of R square plus omega square L square. So this is Z. So substituting the value here, what is that we get? So this is V square R into R by Z, or this implies V square R divided by R square plus, yes, omega square L square should be the answer. An electromagnetic wave is traveling in X direction with electric field given by EY equals E naught sine kx minus omega tz. Correct expression for magnetic field vector traveling in x direction. So magnetic field vector should be around Bz. Now, what is the magnetic field? Maximum magnetic field. Velocity, selector condition. Very clearly, we have V is equal to E by B. So, we have here B is E divided by V. So, the answer is E naught by C. Velocity of electromagnetic waves C. E, maximum value of the electric field. The phenomenon involved in the reflection of radio waves by ionosphere. Again, total internal reflection of light. Now, the average velocity of the image formed has to be calculated. Concave mirror, we know the image is formed always at infinity. Looking at the nature of the mirror, very clearly it is formed at infinity. Don't go through such formative statements. Just know the principles of concave mirror. Answer is there. Average velocity bekadre, I should know the average distance traveled. See, object is set here. It has traveled 50 centimeter. Focal length is given to be 25 centimeters. So, average distance becomes, it is formed at infinity minus 50. By principle, image has to be formed at infinity. So it is traveling a distance of infinity minus 50, which is somewhere at infinity. So the average velocity is also infinity. Principles of the mirror.